Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you as always for taking time out to watch the videos. I appreciate the continued support you guys show the channel. We have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and discuss in this video today. So before we dive into it, do me a big favor. If you do enjoy the content or you do end up finding it informative, make sure you leave it a like. Really helps it out more than you know. And if you are new here to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. The first topic we have to discuss is the big news that Rockstar Games officially confirms GTA 6 is in development. Now, I think we can all agree this is by no means the most surprising announcement. It's not like they revealed a new trailer or even a teaser. They pretty much just revealed it in a blog post and with a tweet, but still, this is the first we're hearing of it officially, and understandably so, it's going to take over the internet. So if we go over to the Rockstar Newswire, they say what's next. With the unprecedented longevity of GTA 5, we know many of you have been asking us about a new entry in the Grand Theft Auto series. With every new project we embark on, our goal is always to significantly move beyond what we have previously delivered, and we are pleased to confirm that active development for the next entry in the Grand Theft Auto series is well underway. We look forward to sharing more as soon as we are ready, so please stay tuned to Rockstar Newswire for official details. Now, that's a pretty big deal because they are making it seem as though we will get more news on GTA 6 sooner rather than later. We don't want to jump to that conclusion because we know how these things work, but that seems to be what they are insinuating with what they're saying here. So they're saying development is well underway for GTA 6. I'm hoping and I'm assuming it's going to be a next gen only game. Well, I feel like we can't call it next gen anymore, a current gen only game, and they're going to do everything they can to take full advantage of these new consoles and the new hardware. But on top of that, we have confirmation of the release date for GTA 5 for PS5 as well as GTA Online. They say with the GTA 5 community stronger than ever, Grand Theft Auto 5 and GTA Online will come to the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series platforms this coming March 15th, bringing the blockbuster open world experience to players on the latest hardware. We sincerely appreciate the entire community's support over the years as the game now heads into an unprecedented third console generation. Grand Theft Auto 5 and GTA Online for PS5 and Xbox Series features new graphics modes with up to 4K resolution, up to 60 frames per second, texture and draw distance upgrades, HDR options, and ray tracing, as well as offering the technical advancements of the latest console generation with faster load times, immersive 3D audio, and platform-specific features like advanced haptic feedback and much more. So it's also worth noting that at the bottom here they say a new standalone version of GTA Online for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series consoles will debut at launch, available for free for the first 3 months to PlayStation 5 players. So that's something that PS5 owners I think are going to want to pay attention to. If you have any interest at all in trying out GTA Online on the PlayStation 5, it will be free for the first 3 months. So pretty big advantage that the PS5 has there when it comes to this. Let me know your thoughts about this, guys. Obviously, it's big news to the gaming world, to the world in general. GTA 6, it's going to be pretty massive when we get the first official trailer. I'll be interested to hear what you guys think about this news. We are moving on to the next topic, though, which is something that I think many of you are going to find very interesting, because when I learned about this, it made it clear to me that, yeah, Sony still has quite a bit of money left to spend on acquisitions. This is something that we're naturally going to have to talk about because there's been a lot of speculation that Sony either doesn't have enough money, they're not going to be able to afford anything. I think there was actually some people saying that Sony only has about $1 billion in total left to spend on total acquisitions, which is not true. We have an article here that says Sony has $10 billion left to spend on acquisitions through 2023. Sony's latest financials confirm it has roughly $10 billion left of its total $18 billion budget to spend on strategic buyouts. So it continues by saying back in May of 2021, Sony outlined its spending budget for its fourth mid-year plan, which stretches from fiscal year 21 to fiscal year 23, which ends in March of 2024. The company's board of directors authorized a 2 trillion yen budget, roughly $17.4 billion, for strategic investments, acquisitions, and buyouts, and share repurchases. Sony has now revealed it has spent 850 billion yen, which is roughly 7.4 billion of its allocated budget, leaving about $10 billion left for further purchases. Sony's current bill includes a substantial 3.6 billion buyout of Bungie, as well as billions in share buybacks. Now, the bulk of Sony's spending was made on content IP, which follows the current feeding frenzy for games and franchises, and the lion's share was spent on its games and network services segment. What's interesting is that the $7.4 billion investment total also includes deals that haven't been made public yet. Sony Interactive Entertainment President Jim Ryan said more acquisitions are coming, quote, "We should absolutely expect more. We have many more moves to make," end quote. Now, this is something I wanted to be sure to let you guys know about so we can clear it up. I know people are feeling like we're tired of the acquisition talk, but unfortunately, the reality of the situation is acquisition talk is going to be very prevalent all throughout this year because it's just the reality of the industry right now. And so there were some people, I think, that had some misinformation where they thought that Sony only had about $1 billion left to spend in total. That's absolutely not true. They have much more than that. And something else we absolutely do need to highlight here is that Sony is in no way limited at the end of the day to this specific budget that they set aside. So they have 10 billion left to spend out of the roughly 18 billion that they set aside. But if they have to go beyond that, they are able to do so, and they have many other ways that they are able to achieve that. Not everything has to be done or will be done just in cash buyouts. That's not how these things always work. So that's something that's worth keeping in mind as well. Again, I just had to make this known because when Jim Ryan says that they have more acquisitions to make, I don't think people need to assume or should assume that these are just going to be very small micro acquisitions and there's really nothing of significance that we can expect. I don't want to sit here and say that we should also expect something massive and colossal either, but it is worth noting that Sony still has about 10 billion left to spend, you know, of this budget that they set aside. And when it comes to that 7.4 billion investment total, apparently that does include deals that have yet to be made public. So you guys let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments below. Next up, we're talking about Horizon Forbidden West once again. This is reading from PlayStation Lifestyle, where they say Sony Interactive Entertainment and Guerrilla Games have released a brand new trailer for Horizon Forbidden West, showcasing the game's side activities. From the looks of it, the game will be chock full of things to do should you want to veer off the main path. We're talking melee pits, contracts, outposts and camps, hunting grounds, exploring ruins and cauldrons, and much more. Guerrilla Games previously said that it learned a lot from Horizon Zero Dawn and made every effort to improve Horizon Forbidden West. Side quests, activities, and challenges are just some of the things that have been improved. Over on the PlayStation blog, the studio said that there's a lot more to see than what's being showcased. Now, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to the conversation online from people who were reviewing this game. Now, obviously they're under embargo, they can only say so much, but there have been multiple reviewers who are hinting at just the sheer size and scope of Horizon Forbidden West being way bigger than they expected, and it's absolutely a Game of the Year contender. Frankly, none of this surprises me, but I just wanted to be sure to highlight this because I think that this is going to be one of the standout things regarding Forbidden West that will definitely separate it from Zero Dawn. They really fleshed out the side activities. There's going to be way more to do than I think maybe even some of us were expecting. So this new trailer is awesome. I'll have it playing in the background, but I would definitely recommend going and watching it yourself. But next up, we have to talk about Gran Turismo 7. There was an extensive 30-minute state of play that we just saw, and it has left people feeling extremely impressed with what Polyphony Digital has created here. I've seen a lot of people come out and say that they're really not big fans of racing games, but they're really liking what they're seeing here, and they're going to give it a chance. And something that we're hearing about GT7 is that's one of their goals. They want to try to allow this title in particular to bring in more players, more new players, without necessarily sacrificing what makes Gran Turismo 7 stand out and what makes it so special. And we have here a write-up from PlayStation Universe where they say Polyphony Digital announced during the latest State of Play event that GT7 will take weather to the next level for the venerable racing franchise, featuring dynamic weather specific to particular regions. Kazunori Yamauchi revealed that the team have accumulated tons of data to ensure that skies in Japan will change how they do in that region in real life, and the same can be said for California. GT7 will also see the moon set in the same way that the sun rises and sets, while the color of the stars will change depending on cloud density. In addition, players will have access to a weather radar that allows them to predict the weather somewhat, giving them an idea of what condition the upcoming track will be in. Speaking of which, if it rains on a track, it's possible for puddles to form, which will dry at different times depending on where the rain has fallen. So I wanted to be sure to highlight this in particular because this sounds pretty crazy. It really seems like they're going above and beyond here when it comes to the weather system, or the dynamic weather system that's going to be featured in Gran Turismo 7. Putting that aside though, graphically speaking, I'm actually very impressed with Gran Turismo 7. I've seen some people talking negatively about the graphical quality of GT7, and I genuinely have to ask if they are looking at the same thing I am. My only assumption is that maybe they were watching the stream live, so it was somewhat compressed, but even then it looked impressive. But if you go back and watch it, the video's out, you watch it at 4K, I mean, it's never going to look as good as if you're playing it on a console, you know, natively in front of you. But man, it looks very impressive. So all in all, it seems like GT7 is set to really be the return to form here, and people, I think, couldn't be happier about it. So yeah, let me know your thoughts about GT7. But to finish out this video, we're talking about Ghostwire Tokyo. We also had an extensive showcase for this title, and my immediate thoughts on it are, it actually looks pretty good to me. I'm looking forward to playing this. I'm hoping I'll be able to play it at launch, but the game looks very unique. I was a big fan of The Evil Within 1 and 2, and this does look very different from that. But in general, I'm liking the fact that this game is standing out. It certainly doesn't look like just a normal, run-of-the-mill, traditional type of action game that you would get. I mean, the hand animations alone are very impressive. I saw some people talking about that, but you know, there are a few concerns with this game. Some people are thinking that maybe it looks too easy, or the combat might get boring, like the enemies maybe aren't really as aggressive as they seem like they should be, and I understand this, and I'm hoping we'll see more. But in general, I am liking what I'm seeing, and we learned that the game is going to be launching on March 25th for PS5, and so it's a game that, as I said, I hope I will be able to play at launch, and I like what I'm seeing. I see some people are not feeling as up on it, which I think is understandable, but it's worth noting that for those who are on Xbox who are eventually looking forward to playing this because it is a Bethesda title, apparently Ghostwire Tokyo will be a PS5 exclusive until 2023. So it'll be about a year timed exclusivity. So I guess March 25th, 2023 is when it'll launch on Xbox. But there you go. Those are my thoughts on Ghostwire Tokyo. You can let me know your thoughts about it down below. That's going to do it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it informative. Leave it a like if you did. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share the video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.